Boom. Hey, folks, John Duffin here, barging in on you from Duffin Media, barging in on you for a few minutes because as I'm in the midst of my 5-day top tip coaching communication biz tips. That's a lot of words, right? We're going to shorten that up the next time I say it. Your man here, John Duffin, Duffin Media, Duffin Coaching. I get to offer my top 3 communications tips. Each day that you see me, I'm typically bringing in new, timely, relevant tips to make certain that you optimize your communications. Sure, you'll be leveraging your voice, but let me tell you this. What you're also looking to do is make certain that anytime you're communicating when it matters, from money to build a relationship, to secure a relationship, for integrity, authenticity, to move a business strategy forward, to get buy-in. And that's just a few upsides of what we get to do here. And I'm telling you, I know that these tips work. So that's why I got to show up today. Hey, meanwhile, if you happen to be seeing me on Facebook, yo, I'm right here. Drop a note in the comments. Let me know that you're here. So number one, I can acknowledge you properly, right? And that I can communicate to you specifically. I won't show you up. I won't make you feel weird. I promise you that. But just let me know that you're here, okay? I know people are on. Let me know who exactly, and I'll be glad, as I said, I'll talk directly to you. LinkedIn, same deal. If you're catching me live, great. I love it. Grateful that you're here. Drop a note in the comments, and also on YouTube. I am breaking live on each. Again, the whole point of all of this is to make certain that today you can utilize these tips, takeaways to make certain, as I said, that you are able to communicate better, more effectively, and with stronger results. So let me just dive right in, okay? That's one of the things I commit to everybody that's here. I'm going to drop this tip for you right now, and it helps me all the time, which is this. You are never reading to anyone. You are always speaking to someone. If you are literally reading, you're not talking to somebody. So you got to know that maybe reading is fundamental, but not when you're trying to communicate, and certainly not for something that matters. Holy smokes! I got a rock star here. My man, Jason Marsdale, is here. Yahoo! This is great. Jason and I have communicated extensively on several different things, and that's the whole key today. You're not reading to anybody, all right? When you're communicating, you are speaking. You're talking to somebody. Here's the second tip. I learned this. I got to give a major shout out. A voiceover coach that helped me, and this is business related, folks. And I'll give you the example of where this has really paid off. Again, you're always talking to someone. You're never talking at someone. You're talking to someone. It's your big 3, okay? Who are you talking to? Where are you when you're speaking? And why does this matter to them? Not why does it matter to you? You want to sound authentic. You want to sound engaging. You want to move the needle forward in regards to results. You want to make certain that all that homework that you prepared actually matters. Do not read it to them. Talk to them, okay? So often, people will fall back on their prepped material. If you know me, and if you've been a fan of Duffin Media, and I'm always grateful for my fans that are here, I'm not a big believer. It is a business imperative that you need to be prepared. You literally need to be prepared. You need to do your homework. However, there's a big difference between doing your homework and presenting it, okay? And so I'm going to ask a question of anybody who's here. No worries, we're not putting anybody on the spot. But all I was going to ask is this. Have you ever been a part of a sales presentation? Maybe you're the one that was a part of a group that's presenting, Or you watch somebody speak in a business setting and it was clear they were reading something out loud. Anybody who's been here? Anyone? Has anyone ever had that happen to them? Where somebody literally ducks and just starts reading their PowerPoint slide, their keynote, or whether they're reading their research or validating their existence by making sure you know how intelligent they are because they brought your research. I'm telling you, this has happened to me a myriad of times. And when I was selling in the beginning, when I was managing, when I was conducting executive strategies, leading sales teams in the beginning, I did it. I remember the discomfort that I had where I literally had to stop momentum in a business conversation and started to read my research out loud. If anyone's ever done it, that's okay. This is an easy fix. If you've ever experienced it, you know then probably, like I watch people do, you know how cringe-worthy it is. Because what happens is this: you want to really be engaging, you have to stay in a conversation. So, one of the easiest ways to lose somebody is to do, I'm going to exaggerate. Hey, hold on a second. I got some important information for you. All right. Okay. Zazzle has a 20% off statewide sale. Give them gifts that matter. Okay. Now I'm back. All right. We good? Right. I always try to bring value here at Duffin Media. And now you know that Zazzle has a 20% off sale. Here's what else you know. You want to look unprepared? Start reading crap out loud. Don't do it. So what do? What do? You deliver material as you're speaking to someone. That big do your homework part, do it. Meaning you need to be in storytelling mode when you're speaking to someone. And I don't mean lullabies and I don't mean bedtime stories. I don't mean fantasy. But everything has to relate to who you're speaking with. Now, I'm going to give you the hardest example in terms of how to do this, and then I'll dial it back in a couple different ways of how we can make this easier. Let's give you the hardest one first, okay? You're in front of people. Often more than one person will be the hardest. Several people, right? And you're delivering a presentation. Maybe it's a little bit longer. Maybe it's a little bit more detailed, okay? And so you're delivering a presentation to a few people. And you don't know who to focus on. So you're kind of like all over the place and looking around, or, oh, are you going to go back to your deck or your notes or whatever? Here's the tip, and it's a winner. Again, this is in person. The hardest one, I'm going to make it easier for you right now. Literally, I call it water the plants. The easier way to remember it is you're always going to speak to someone. No one said you have to speak to every person collectively all at once at the same time. Nobody, right? You can, so don't. But you are allowed to select someone and talk to them. I just got some feedback on Saturday. I'll give you an example. So this is, I'm announcing an event. God bless the great people at the Philly Bike Ride in Philadelphia. The American Bike Ride Company brings these live events to multiple markets. Well, they were in Philadelphia this past weekend. I'm grateful to say I've had a 3-year relationship with the Philly Bike Ride team, and I get to be the public address announcer, right? So why am I telling you this? Well, maybe I'm telling you that to impress you. I'm not. What I'm telling you is my extreme gratitude in bringing this to life. So it's a lengthy script of acknowledgments, rules, regs, do's, don'ts, welcome aboard, schedule, roster, timelines, all that sort. It is an extensively long script. If I literally just sat and read it out loud, yeah, I guess that'd be okay. People say I have a nice voice, whatever. But a nice voice doesn't really do a lot. People need to feel as if you're speaking to them. So what did I do? So there was about 7,000 riders that were there, and I have a microphone, and a loud voice, so I can go a pretty long way, right? Did I choose to speak to 7,000 people? No, not once, not ever. Sea of people going back blocks along the Ben Franklin Parkway. It would be an impossible, thankless task. And here's the risk, folks, in business. You lose your train of thought, you lose your momentum, you literally disconnect. You look distracted. So, folks, make it simple. Again, life lesson. You never have to speak to an entire group all at once, simultaneously, at the same time. Never, never, never. Here's what you can do. And what I did, I picked a person. I would look at someone. I would start speaking to them. Hey, where are you from? Where are you coming from? What are you doing? Is this your first time here? I wasn't asking a bunch of personal questions. I just wanted to talk, right? Here's the feedback I got from not only the riders, but the organizers. You make it very personal and engaging. So when I continue to read along with the script, I'm typically speaking to somebody. Maybe it's that person that was on a bike. Maybe it's that person 50 yards back, but I'm talking to someone. I'm imagining. Oh, sorry. Here's step 2. So that's step 1. The benefit of speaking to someone, not just that you connect with that person and they know it. This is big. You connect and they know it. Here's the second benefit, which is even bigger. Everyone else watches you do it. And everyone else is a little bit more in anticipation that you will speak to them. So what do? Do I get to 7,000 people? No. But if you're in a conference room, boardroom, say, right? You're delivering your business strategy. You're trying to secure money, funding, employees, get hired. Focus on a person. Talk to them with your important material. Then move your eyes, and I did that on purpose, and talk to someone else for a second, a minute, a thought. Allow your eyes to move. Why do I call it water the plants? Sometimes when I'm doing it right, if I've got a big meeting, I want to make sure I know at least one of the persons that are going to be there. Know them. They're the plants. Hey, sit closer to the front if you would. Hey, I'm going to be looking over at you. I'm going to ask you something. Be ready. It really helps. So here's your next tip. Make certain, if you're able, that someone is in the room that you know, so that you can bounce energy back and forth, your expertise. Get rid of some of the nerves and discomfort, okay? So when you do that, you don't sound like you're reading your homework out loud. This ain't 4th grade. Nobody's bringing you up to the front of the room at St. Dominic's. Okay, it's a little more information than you need. And reading your math homework. That was the end of the thought. Speak to people. You automatically sound more engaging. You just do. You'll look at somebody, you'll feel it, okay? So if you're in a conference room, in a board meeting, I've done this thousands of times. Pick a person, give them a thought or so. Don't freak them out. Don't make them uncomfortable. Don't stare at them, right? Talk to them though. And remember, it has to matter to them. So the homework that you're doing is not only that you have factoids, but you've already understood why it matters to somebody without making them feel like a 4-year-old too. Hey, this is why it matters to you, Bob. It's speak to someone. The homework is not just that you have facts. The real homework and the practice and the benefit and the results come from it matches who you're speaking to, because it only matters if it matters to them. So nobody's reading out loud. You're always speaking to someone rather than at someone. And then here's your third tip, the third takeaway today, okay? What if you're on a phone call? I'm on StreamYard right now. All you cool people that have joined me, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, that are checking me out right now. First off, thanks. But secondly, I can't, unless you acknowledge yourself, see exactly who it is. So here's tip number 3. What if you're in a situation where you're not actually looking at people, right? What do? You've got to sound as if you're conveying a message. I go back to Kelly McGee, my voiceover coach. She didn't know me when I was leading business for over 25 years. She didn't know me. This was after the fact. But I also strongly believe that in coaching and in business, you take the lessons learned from those that are nice enough to give them to you. So Kelly, again, the big 3. John, who are you talking to when I'm doing narration? Where are you when you're speaking? Making it tangible and real and centering you. 3, why does it matter to them? So I'll give you an example. Today, I don't know if people are going to show up. I just literally came cruising in on doing a live stream. Sometimes what will happen, folks, maybe you've done it. You let me know if this has happened to you. You've done some sort of a live stream or a Zoom and nobody showed up. Oh, what? Just me? That happened. That happened. And the first time, because it happened actually more than once, the first time was unnerving. So I had to picture, who was I speaking to or with? Well, here's what I did, which you can do too. You're on a conference call. You don't know who's there. You're on a Zoom session. You don't know. Picture somebody in your mind. Just picture them. Imagine them. Imagine that they're there, right? My dear friend, Pete. I'm thinking of him right now. If nobody was here, thank God that's not so, but it's okay. If it was just me rattling on, right? I'd be talking to Pete. And I'd be tailoring this information to the fact that, again, the reading out loud part is foolish. I was lucky that with each of the media companies that I've been involved with on the sales, executive, managerial side, right? That we were typically pitching for multiple thousands or we were delivering millions of dollars of revenue per year, millions upon millions of dollars, right? So we were constantly speaking to people who had big money and we were asking for big money. So we damn well needed to be prepared to justify it. I watched people lose opportunities simply because they started to read their PowerPoint out loud. It is so easy to fix that. Okay. So if you're in front of people, honest to God, you're going to, in essence, speak to individuals, water the plants, and talk to them. If you're doing a Zoom or a StreamYard where you're trying to secure business or trying to build or leverage a relationship, know who you're speaking with. And if there's nobody who happens to be there, don't sweat it. In your mind, imagine who you're speaking to. Technically, I cannot see you right now. I'm looking into a camera lens as I'm breaking down the fourth wall, right? I'm looking into a camera lens, but in my mind, I can see exactly who's here. Why does that matter? The way that I deliver business tips is impacted by again, who am I speaking with? One or a group? Where am I? I know where I am right now. And why does it matter to them? And I have figured all that out. The best news is if somebody jumps in, I'd love it. Again, if somebody jumped in again, I'd love that. The fact of the matter is when somebody jumps in again, I'm able to customize the way that I speak and the importance of what I'm saying to that person specifically. So, to sum it up, today, the next time you are on the phone, the next time you are, and by the way, this is an actual communication. You can do this in writing too. I'm a big believer when you're able, pick up the phone. I just was at an event last week where they literally brought it back, which is go have the cup of coffee, go do it, set the meeting, show up in person, have the coffee, have the lunch, do it. If you have a choice for an in-person meeting, make the suggestion to do it. See if they say yeah. If they do, it's good news, not bad, right? Be there in person. If you can't be there in person, do a virtual. You get a much better chance of seeing the people and being able to interact, their body language, their emotions, their receptivity. The science backs that up. If you can't make the phone call, right? Sending emails back and forth, as I said, you lose a lot. And often it is set up as a guard. So don't sweat it if somebody does not want to see you or meet with you, but do, and I mean do, make sure that your priority is that you actually see the people. When you see the people, you can speak with those people. You're not reading out loud. You can engage with them more. The energy changes because you're talking to somebody. You're talking to somebody. You're planted. You know where you are, who you're speaking with, and it matters to that other person. And you're not ducking away and hiding by reading stuff out loud. What will that do today? Here's my ask of you. Everybody that's shown up here live, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I always appreciate this. If you're watching the replay later this afternoon, great. Thank you for that too. Practice this today. Your next call, your next Zoom, your next StreamYard, your next meetup, whatever it is, practice it. Okay? Center yourself before the call. Here's the practice tips. Literally center yourself before and give it 30 seconds. What do I have to say? Who am I speaking with specifically? I mean, where am I going to be? And why does it matter to them? Make certain that everything that you're saying, and don't hide behind your material. Get in front of it. God, made me almost sound a little bit Philly. Get in front of it. Take those tips today. I promise you, you will be a more effective communicator. And as for me, I make this easy, right? You want to learn a little bit more? You want to focus on you? I always like that. I always appreciate that. And I am very willing to help. So what am I doing right now? I am literally giving you in the comments my email address, jd@duffinmedia.com. Obviously, I'm all over your socials by design, right? And so jd@duffinmedia.com. If you want to keep it a little more private, send me an email. Let me know that you want to customize things. What will I do? I'll get you I'm calling it free, but it's worth a lot. Discovery call. I'll put the focus on you. I'll explain how my systems work. It's a blueprint that I've created. It's called the Hyper Authenticity. That's it. The Hyper Authenticity Business Blueprint. What do? I'm able to optimize your communications, as I just demonstrated. Proven practical tips. That's what I'll get to do. Either reach out to me on social. You want to learn more? I'll hang out with you for a little bit. Or send me an email. We'll have that discovery call. We'll see what you need to get corrected, and let's see if we can get it corrected for you. So, folks, John Duffin here, Duffin Media. I absolutely will be back with more. This 5-day challenge, Duffin Coaching, chances are damn good you're going to see me tomorrow, and I'll give you a heads up on that as well, too. Have a great day, folks. We'll talk soon. Go crush the end of the day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.